Well, yesterday, the 24th of September 2023, was designated as the Census Reference Night for the 4th Population and Housing Census. This means that all people finding themselves in the country on that day were subsequently counted in relation to the household where they spent the night. We are privileged to have Statistician-General Alex Shimuafeni to provide insight into the progress and significance of this important nationwide enumeration. Mr. Shimuafeni, good evening and thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening and thank you for having me.
All right. Just to begin with, Census Reference Night kicked off the process last night. Has everything gone according to schedule so far, and what's your assessment of the day?
Yes, I must say that the project is very dynamic. Though you will not find that everything will go 100%, but we are fairly satisfied with how the Census Reference Night went off last night. We managed to visit homeless people, the travelers at the roadblocks. We also went to drop off forms at the institutions or at lodges where people are lodging, people who were moving in that night or that day, who spent the night there, because they will not be spent the night in institutions. And we had a good escort from the police and the law enforcement agencies, and all the enumerators were all hyped up and excited to be doing this shift. It was a shift from 12 o'clock midnight up to 6 o'clock in the morning.
All right. The census process began among the homeless, travelers and institutions like hospitals and prisons. Were all targets reached in terms of counting those demographics?
Yeah, it's very difficult to say at this moment whether everyone was reached, for the reason that some of them had to be reached through, or need to be enumerated through the paper-based questionnaire, because for the technical reasons such as this is an enumeration area is normally picked up by, or rather is assigned in advance and then also it's assigned in advance and then logged into the tablet. But for example, the homeless people, they might find themselves in an area which is not an identified enumeration area. So we are still bringing together those information so that we can count and see how far did we reach. And then the other one is also where we drop off forms, we need to collect them again and see whether all those people were counted. Now, if you go to the maternity wards, for example, where we went, there they did a thorough job in terms of having to count every person who was there waiting to give birth. What I've informally heard is, unfortunately, there was no Census Reference Night baby who was born maybe just before midnight. So those are some of the data that we have collected last night.
Mr. Shimuafeni, there has been reports of violence meted out to enumerators. How are you handling the security issues as it relates to both enumerators and the public?
Yes, we train people to be cautious, obvious. Excuse me. We were asked questions like, why can we not give the enumerators like pepper sprays and things like that? But we are dealing with a massive number of people. You don't know how some people will react to some of these things. So the idea is that for people to play safe. Where they don't feel safe, they don't need to go there alone. They don't need to go there at all without the escort of the police or security agencies. We have been dealing with the neighborhood watches to ensure the safety of both the enumerators and the inhabitants of the household. So we do not want to create an opportunity where maybe the criminals are going to take advantage. So this is really the approach that we have been taking with this enumeration period.
All right. Mr. Shimuafeni, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Alex Shimuafeni joining us there, who is a Statistician-General, talking to us, or giving us an update rather, on the 4th Population and Housing Census.